Okay, Unit 4.1, Investigating Circles. We're going to start by looking at the components of a circle. First part, the red section here is the diameter. Diameter equals d. The diameter is the longest distance across a circle. In order for it to be the longest distance, the line must pass through the center of the circle. So it doesn't matter from which point it goes to, as long as it passes through the center, you'll notice the diameter is always the same length. No matter where you put it, no matter how you turn it, it's always going to be the same length, and as long as it always passes through the center, it's always the longest distance across. The second part of the circle that we're going to look at is the radius, or the purple line here. And the radius is the line segment that connects the center of the circle to the edge of the circle. All radii, which is the plural of radius, it's not radiuses, radii, all radii are the same length. So if I'm to take the radius that I've got here, the purple line, and I bring it out, I can swing that around, and as long as I start at the center point, I'll always end up the same distance away, regardless of where I put it, regardless of how I spin it. It'll always connect those two lines together. So what's the relationship between the radius and the diameter? Well, if we look back at it, the diameter goes from one side of the circle to the other, passing through the center. The radius, or radii, if there's more than one, only goes from the center out to the edge, which is halfway across the circle. So the relationship between the two is that the diameter, or d, is twice the radius, or radius, r, is half the diameter. Another way to look at that is technically, you could say the diameter is equal to 2 times r, or the radius is equal to half of the diameter. So we're going to look a little bit at drawing circles now too. When you draw a circle, sometimes you'll be given either a diameter or a radius that you need to look at. The first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need a center point. So we're going to start with a center point. And I'm just going to put a center point right there. That's where I'm going to start. Now, because the radius is halfway across a circle, or from the middle point out to the side, my radius in this case needs to be 2.5 centimeters. So I'm going to line up my little pointy part of my compass. Oh, in this case, it's already set up. You'll notice here that the pointy part is at 0, and then the pen part is right at 2.5. Going to clean this up a little bit. Okay, so I've got my ruler. I bring down my compass. It's set at approximately 2.5. Okay. So it's at 2.5, which is my radius, which is only halfway across the circle. So if I put my little point there and I spin my compass, that should be 2.5 across the side, or if we look back at our relationship, it should be close to 5 the whole way across. And that's pretty close. We're not looking for 100% accuracy here. Now, in the case of my diameter, I can't just bring my compass over here and go from 0 all the way across to 4, because that's going to give me a diameter of 8. That means that the whole way around it's going to be 4 across. So if I'm to draw that, that means that my diameter is going to be much, much too big. It's 8. That's twice. So In this case, what we've got to do is we need to cut it in half because we only want the radius. We draw circles based on the radius. So if we want a diameter of 4, we only want a radius of 2. I've set my compass up at 2 centimeters. I spin it. That will give me a radius of 2, but I have a diameter of 4 right across the middle. So once again, when we are drawing the radius, we set up our compass at the right distance that we need it to be across. But when we're drawing a circle using the diameter, we need to divide the diameter in 2 to get the radius so that you can set up your compass properly. So here's your practice question that you are to complete and bring into class. Using a ruler and a compass, draw a circle with a radius of 2.5 centimeters. So you'll need a ruler and you will need your compass to do this. Remember, to draw a circle with a radius of 2.5 centimeters. And the second portion of the question, what would the diameter of that circle be? Answer the question, bring in your circle to your next class.